Hey everybody, Gina DeLuca here. Today, another mad scientist experiment. This one is down the straight pour category. Straight pours. If you have seen any of my paintings where I got the cells with no silicone, like in number 15 or number 16, what I noticed was that the cells were more matte in finish than the background. And there were lots of subsequent experiments that I did that narrowed down certain paints that would react and some that wouldn't, what paints make the best backgrounds, etc. I'm trying something today. Usually when I do a straight pour, the paint that is going to be the background is an opaque, and then the semi-transparents and the transparents have a tendency to sell more than opaque paints. But today I'm not using Floetrol. I am using golden color pouring medium in gloss for the background. And the paints that I would like to see sell, I am using the color pouring medium in matte. Yes, I got a much smaller bottle of this stuff. I wanted to see if this would work before I dropped 70 bucks on a gallon. And this was like $10 for 8 ounces. It's $70 for a gallon. That's why I usually get the gallon of thing, and then I wind up having to figure out how to use something that I don't really care for all that much. We'll see if I like this. I would like to thank my sponsors for helping to make it possible for me to get this stuff to bring you these groovy experiments. Because I can tell you, if it weren't for that, I certainly would not be able to buy gallons of pouring medium other than Floetrol. In the US, Floetrol is cheap. I know it inexpensive. I know in other regions it is not so inexpensive. So first thing I'm going to do is put some paint in a cup. All right, this is a 12 by 12 canvas. That would be about 5 ounces of paint. About. But I will be laying down a base coat, so I won't need quite as much. The consistency that I'm working with here, if you can see, very thin. As soon as it hits the paint, it disappears, but it does not sink. If it sinks, you've gone too thin. Oh, let me tell you what colors I'm using. Whoa, I'm really out of it. I'm excited to try this. I have Pthalo blue in basics. That's an opaque. Light green in Artist Loft, also an opaque. And light blue violet, also an opaque. I don't usually paint with all opaques. Not for a straight pour anyway. Will it sink? It is sinking. Okay, that's a good start. In a straight pour, generally I have found that the paints that tend to be cell reactive will sink when you put them in the cup. So I have hopes for that color. What will happen with this green? Okay, not quite sinking as much. I'm gonna let this sit while I do my base coat. Okay, so my colors. You see there's a lot of bubbles in there. Always a lot of bubbles, seems to be, with the golden, but also a lot of bubbles when I pour it this way too, so it will be very bubbly. Here we go. Well, I don't know if this is going to sell or not. The way it's sitting on the edges is not a good sign that that will happen. All right, we shall see. I'm going to just move this around, stretch it out. In a straight pour, stretching gives you cells. The more you stretch, the more cells pop up. As always, remember to recenter your paint before changing directions. I am not seeing any evidence that I'm going to get cells. That's a bummer. But what I'm gonna do is try to get some lightning. I'm trying to make something of this composition. All right, well, right now this is just kind of blah to me. Pity we didn't get the cells. I will have to try this with paints that I know are cell reactive and see if this medium will even allow it to happen. I've got my airbrush here. I don't love this. I'm gonna see what I can do with it. That's very pretty together. That looks like the Aurora Borealis popping out. Ooh, I think I just got a new idea. All right, I see there's like layers of stuff underneath. Usually if this was Floetrol, that would probably be popping up the colors underneath. I kind of want to coax them out. Okay, there's just not much happening there, and it's not thrilling me. So let's bring in the Rain X. Let's see what happens. I'm spraying a little bit into a cup, and then I'm just going to just that. Just to give it a little bit of something. It's like doing salt in a dark restaurant. I can't see if it's coming out or not. Okay, gonna let this sit, see what happens. And then I'll bring you back. All right, this has been sitting for about a half an hour. I really like the ethereal look of where I blew the color from underneath and brought it up. I think I'm gonna have to do something with that. That's very cool. Maybe I'll do like an Aurora Borealis type sky, a landscape, something or another. And these cells from the Rain-X, they're funky, as the Rain-X do. Those I did fill back in with some paint because they had pushed the paint away so much. These are the natural cells up there. It turned out absolutely backwards from how a straight pour usually works. Generally, the background color, or the color that's in the bottom of your cup, becomes your background. But I did mix up a lot of stuff here, so this wasn't exactly a control piece because I did use opaques, and they did seem to sink. All three opaques, but this right here is just ghostly looking. That is so cool. I'm definitely going to have to do some kind of Aurora Borealis air swipe something or another. But, yeah. So I will let this dry and see what happens. Okay, here's the dry piece. The colors held up well. That is the benefit of the opaques. They don't have a tendency to disappear when there's a darker color behind them. The Rain-X cells, look how much that looks like a flower. I mean, that really looks like a flower. Very cool. I mean, that Rain-X rescued this painting. This would have been a non-starter for me. But I really liked how this came out. I like the composition of it. You can tell that I used two different mediums. The green is very matte, but that's also the Rain-X does that too. So that's probably not the cause of that. The Rain-X does give a very matte appearance to wherever you put it. But even in the places where there is no Rain-X here, but you can tell that those colors were with the matte medium. But, so that didn't work out the way I had intended, but I am pleased with the final outcome. It's pretty cool. And I'm definitely going to be keeping this Rain-X on hand. It may rescue a lot of paintings that I'm not particularly thrilled with. And again, let me show you the bottle because I do think it makes a difference which kind you get. The glass water repellent. There you go. So I hope you learned something. I sure did. Please like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Do check out the description box below for links to my PayPal tip jar if you find these tutorials helpful or at the very least entertaining in some way, shape, or form and would like to help me stay stocked up in supplies so I can keep bringing you the videos. That is one of the ways you could do that. Another way is to check out the Amazon link. Anything that you purchase off the entire site of Amazon, if you enter through that link, I will make a small commission of at no additional cost to you. Also, my website link is there, GinaDeLuca.net. Pop on over there if you would like to purchase any of my artwork or my music. And our group Go Make Some Art on Facebook. Join us over there. Post your masterpieces. Ask any question should you find yourself in a painting pickle. Or just come get some inspiration. Okay, you guys, that's it for me. I hope you all have a beautiful day. And now go make some art.